Philippians 4:13 says, "For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." Many times we'll hear athletes quote this passage of Scripture, and it's very applicable to what they're going through. Other times you'll hear people say, that's taken out of context because it's about suffering for Jesus. But if we observe athletes, most of them do suffer and struggle as they practice to make perfect so that they can win the game for themselves and their team. So today we're going to hear from a few athletes associated with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Zach Nelson is a local regional director for the Orange County Fellowship of Christian Athletes, also known as FCA, and he brings with him two NCAA Division II athletes, Peyton Darm, who is a recent graduate from Vanguard University and played for the women's volleyball team, NCAA Division II, as well as Josiah, who also plays in Division II NCAA on track and field. He also is a former Marine. So both of these athletes, along with Zach, who played baseball at the collegiate level, will share their stories, their struggles, and how it is that they have brought faith into the orientation of what they do as athletes. So join us on this episode of Kingdom and Culture as we explore what it means to go through the struggle that is good to the glory of God through athletics. I'm your host, Mike Whitford, and today we have some awesome guests. I'll just say it this way. They all love Jesus, so that's good. And they're all part of Fellowship of Christian Athletes, aka FCA, in one way or another. And they're all athletes in their own right. And so I'm going to introduce the captain of this crew, if you will, Zach Nelson. He is a local Orange County FCA pastor, evangelist guy.
Something like that.
I don't know your official title. I probably should have done that before we started this thing.
Yeah,
but
you definitely should.
One of the great things about podcasts is it's all conversational, and you just go with the flow. So that's what we're going to do right now.
Mentor to many.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
That's good. Hey, and make sure you guys, just real world stuff here, keep like a hang loose distance on that thing right there. There you go. Cool. So, Zach, why don't you kick it off and just tell me a little bit about you, and then introduce your fellow athletes here, and we'll go from there.
All right. Well, thanks for having us on, Mike.
You bet.
I am, and I know my athletes are stoked to be here. So to my left, I have Josiah Kirby. You're a sophomore? I think we talked about that. Yeah. Josiah's a sophomore at Vanguard University, and also Peyton Darm on my right. And Peyton, you're a senior?
I'm a senior, going in my 5th year.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I did that.
So I'm on staff with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes at Vanguard University. If you're not familiar with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, we're a sports nonprofit parachurch ministry that started in 1954. It was founded by a man named Don McLennan, and Don had a passion to share the gospel through sports, and was, during that time...
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a very good idea. During that time, Yogi Berra is selling beer, and to the masses, and he's a famous baseball player back in the 50s, and athletes were being kind of used to sell products, and he's like, well, if companies can do that, then how come we can't do that? Why not do that with the gospel? So, and that's kind of where it all started. And the very first...
And that's good. I'm glad you gave that background, because I don't think a lot of people know the background. Like, I've even said FCA, they're like, what's FCA? So to a new generation, you're reintroducing that which has been around since the 50s.
Long time ago.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, so actually, this is really cool. I'm so sorry, I'm way off topic here. I'm on topic, but I'm off. So so Don and Branch Rickey actually were essentially co-founders.
Owner of the Dodgers, Brooklyn.
Yeah, at the time he was with the Pirates, but this was Branch Rickey, if you guys don't know, signed Jackie Robinson.
Yes, he did.
Who broke the color barrier in sports. So Branch Rickey had a hand in FCA starting. which was really cool.
That's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What a connection.
Very,
Yeah.
very cool.
Wow. Come on.
So fast forward, all these years later, we've been an organization for the past 75 years.
Wow.
I'm not good at math. Obviously, I'm in ministry. So, but yeah. So we've been doing this for a long time, and I've been on staff with FCA and working with college athletes for the last 4 years at Vanguard.
And you played baseball.
I did
at Vanguard. First base.
First base.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, let's go ahead and let ladies first post Zach. Peyton, tell us about what your athletic focus area, even what your major is at college, because there's those that are still deciding what to do with their lives, and so maybe you'll impact somebody's direction here.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm Peyton. I play volleyball at Vanguard. I'm a middle, and I'm a senior going into my 5th year. Took a redshirt year. I am a history and political science major. I want to teach with that. I'm going to teach either middle school or high school, and then hopefully coach in there as well. I'm currently a coach also for club and for boys high school.
Wonderful.
But yeah, I did not decide my major until my sophomore year, second semester. I was undeclared, and then business, and then elementary education, and now history and political science. So it took a bit to get there, but God led me here and felt the calling to teach. So yeah, that's how I got there. And then, volleyball, it's just, I love being at Vanguard because it truly is a place to play for Christ, and you're playing with him. So yeah, it's been a great opportunity. Yeah.
Like angels in the outfield, does Jesus lift you up over the net to spike?
Oh yeah, no, I got
That's
my
great.
wings going every time.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
No.
They get in the way.
That's awesome. Okay. Thanks, Peyton. And we'll go back to because I want to pry into more of how that all came together for you in terms of volleyball and what things God has revealed to you through that. So Josiah, talk to us. Talk to me, Goose.
Yeah. Second year at Vanguard, sophomore athletically, and I'm 30, so that's crazy.
Yeah, you are.
Wow.
Now tell a little bit about that. Why are you 30 as a sophomore in college? What did you served something before that?
Yep. I was down in Camp Pendleton in the Marines, and served in the military for 5 years.
Wow.
And
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. And just using the GI Bill and just getting back to going to school, and that route was wild.
Yeah.
To see where the Lord has me now, going back to school and why Vanguard.
Yeah.
Specifically Christian.
Yeah.
And that focus. So that's been awesome. Getting out of that realm into this community, and couldn't be happier. It's been, really cool.
Well, and that's where I guess from there I want to launch into the fact that you guys have the opportunity to be part of a Christian community at a Christian university, which not everybody gets that opportunity. But with Biola and Azusa, Vanguard, Concordia, others around here, we have a great opportunity in that community realm as believers with options. But deeper than that, perhaps even as you see culture going as it goes away from Jesus, perhaps in some areas, maybe somewhere, also closer, there are things people are working toward drawing near to Jesus. What was it in you guys as you're going through your life that you decided to start running for Jesus? You started to spiking for Jesus. I'm trying to find an athletic thing
fine.
for volleyball.
That works.
Set for Jesus, serving for Jesus. That's even better. That's why you're the FCA guy, Zach. And then for you, Zach, playing baseball. No particular order, but what as our students are listening to this, what was it that sparked your heart to get involved in athletics and be an athlete, but then how that faith integration piece became important to you as to why your relationship with Jesus while serving him.
Yeah, there you go.
In that manner. Just Tell a little bit about what got you in there.
Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian home. My dad played volleyball, and then he made us play every other sport other than volleyball. So that way we wouldn't choose it just because he played it.
Okay.
And thank goodness that he did that, because volleyball's not a starter sport. So my coordination came in from that. But he taught me how to integrate faith into sports for sure, how to deal with authority figures, your coaches, respect them and ask questions, and just how to pour into your coaches and how to be poured into also. So connecting that to God, we learned how to, lean on him. He is a resource. He's our first and should be, he's our first resource. We need to go to him for everything. And so, like for me now, learning how to rely on him for strength physically, spiritually, it's just going through spring season. It's tough work. So early morning wake up. So it's just starting my day, my 5-minute drive off with prayer, worship music. Sometimes I'm just in silence, just being still, starting my day off with him. And that's really helped me to get through the 5:30 wake up call. Every day.
Conditioning and all that.
Conditioning,
practice.
But it's a blessing, and I'm so privileged to be able to do that for sure. So
you would see that as a blessing that you get to do it rather than you have to do it. And it sounds like you have a pretty good foundation from your home life into, did you go to a Christian school in high school as well?
I did not, no.
Okay, so you got to experience, what high school did you go to?
I went to Elisa Miguel.
Okay.
And I did FCA there. I was on the leadership team there.
Okay. So you knew about FCA before?
I did, yeah.
Okay, that helps a lot.
Been involved there
Wonderful.
a while, so.
Yeah. Josiah, how about you? What's your story? And the reason I'm asking, again, our guests are Peyton, Josiah, and Zach from FCA. But I'm asking these questions to give kind of a background to both help students navigate where they're at, whether they come from a strong Christian background or not. And so, Josiah, what's your background story with regard to being where you're at now and honoring God with your athletic ability and being in college?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long one. I'll try to be as brief as I can, but basically raised in a Christian home as well. 1 out of 7 kids. Dad was pastoring in a church around the Atlanta, Georgia area.
Okay.
And
so you're a Southerner.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
From around there, Texas, Georgia, made my way out here in the Marines. So,
sorry, really quick question.
Yeah.
Do people from the South make fun of you because now you're in California and?
Yeah, probably.
Or
I think so.
Because I find that my friend from Mississippi, she said that I couldn't be a Southerner because I was from California.
Yeah.
I said, "Where's the Mason-Dixon line?" And she pointed it out, and I said, "Well, that's above where I live, so technically I'm a Southerner because I'm below the Mason-Dixon line," which is where they include the South. Anyway, just a little thing there. But continue, Josiah. So your dad's a pastor, Georgia, Texas.
Yeah. I would say that they're like, what are you doing out there? Why are you going to California?
Yeah.
But, no, so yeah, pretty wild story. Got out of the Marines 2019 and 25 at the time. Had some track scholarships out of high school, but obviously chose to deny those. But I don't know. I'd always thought maybe going back to school, maybe I could try to get back in the athletic realm, possibly. But my body was pretty torn up, to be honest.
From being in the Marines?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the infantry, lots of just walking, lots of weight bearing. And so my joints are just pretty trashed.
Wow.
Even at 25. And to be honest, I dealt with a lot of substance abuses.
Gotcha.
Specifically, mainly alcohol.
Yeah.
At the time, even though raised knowing the truth, I definitely knew who God was. But I chose to run away from that.
Yeah.
I chose the world.
And this is post-Marines.
Yeah.
So you served in the U.S. Marine Corps and honorably which again, we thanked you earlier, like we're so grateful for that, but that's not without its own sacrifices.
Yeah, right.
And the environment, I'm sure, that are there. So now you're out and you're going to alcohol to help fill whatever void was left there, it sounds like.
Yeah, lots of peer pressure, you know, lots of like, oh, what do I do, you know, and just trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I don't really have like an identity, you know, I don't, my identity was like, oh, I'm a Marine, whatever. But now I'm out just kind of circulating through different jobs and stuff and just kind of drinking my life away.
Yeah.
I really was. And so I got very sick, organ function was plummeting.
So it got that bad.
Very, very dramatic. At one point, I was 27, and I lost maybe close to like 60, 65 pounds.
Wow.
Just because I was starting to just have that dramatic dysfunction in my body, and that was pretty scary. Like, I got some brain scans from doctor's office, and just was really scared. Like, just starting to lose, like, just going into panic every time I drove a car, you know, stuff like that. So just losing like functionality. In real life situations.
As a 27-year-old.
27-year-old guy, you know.
Wow.
And I'm like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
You know? So just really scared. Like, I was having trouble sleeping at night. And I think I finally just came to a breaking point one evening, and I just cried out to God. I was like, I know he's real. He's there. But, you know, if he really hears me, like, maybe he'll do something about this. Yeah. You know? And so I just said, God, like, Jesus, like, I know that Jesus is God. And if you really are real and you hear me right now, would you just give me sleep? You know, something as simple as that. Just like give me some rest right now. Yeah. And I kid you not, like, I woke up like right after I prayed that, like 8 hours later, like, you know, slept all the way through the night. It was crazy.
Wow.
At the time, that was like just a shock.
So that was like a miracle to your body.
Yeah, it was.
To be able to rest.
Yeah. And I woke up just like, wow, okay. I think that might have been a fluke, you know? but like, you know, no way. Like,
God's fluky miracle.
He heard me, you know, that one time and just like, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it happens like over and over. But every time I would pray that, like, I seriously would just like wake up like,
God actually answered my prayer.
Giving me, he was giving me rest.
Wow.
And so I was starting to like sleep through the nights, and then he woke me up one time. It was like 3 a.m, and I just hear out of this ear, like, my name being called. It's just Josiah.
Out of your left ear. Yeah. An audible Josiah.
It felt like somebody was there. And I lived alone, you know. I'm like, what was that? I wake up. I wake up and I'm like, is there somebody here? Like, you know, I'm like looking around the house, like, what's going on? And I was like, that was not a dream. Wow. You know? And so I'm like, once again, maybe it's just a fluke. You know? Like, maybe it's like just my mind messing with me. I don't know. Wow. And so I go back to sleep. Well, that happens like another 2 more times. Wow. And so I'm like, okay, I did pray.
And you had no prophet Eli to go talk to, the priest Eli. Yeah. Like your Samuel, like, what's going on? Go listen, say it is I, Lord, speak. Your servant listens. Did you say that?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess next time. Right.
Yeah. But so after like the 3rd time, I'm like, okay, he's like literally calling my name.
Wow.
Like literally. And so
There had to be some moms, dads, grandmas, people praying for you.
Yes, there were. They still are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously.
Come on.
And so I was like, okay, like I got to figure out who this guy is.
Yeah.
Who's calling my name? Like he knows me. It really felt like a father, like calling his son in.
Yeah.
You know, inside, like just come back home. You know.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, like if that's the case, I'm gonna give you everything I got. I asked for healing. I asked for him to completely heal me and to use like that story for not myself, but for many others. And in whatever capacity, he didn't have to, but he did.
Yeah.
He's healed me completely and more, and then some. Here I am, you know, running collegiate track
and I see it. I see you running with the young bucks.
The youngins.
The youngins. You're 30, and these people are like 20 years old, and you're keeping up. You're leading the pack.
Yeah. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So, but the bigger part is like the surrenderance. It's like, okay, like I said, Jesus, I am yours now.
Wow.
But that comes with, you know, another side of the coin is, you know, I said, so if I'm yours, like, you have to be mine too. So that surrenderance is like, okay, you're my God, and I'm your son now. So
wow.
It's a beautiful thing.
Great.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, I think you kind of answered my next question, but it sounds like, God definitely got a hold of your attention. And what would you say to somebody who is in that initial spot of, God, if you're real, blank? Because I'm sure, if not all of us in this room, a lot of Christians and or unbelievers at one time in their life will say, God, if you're real. What would you say to a person in that place right now, whether they're in high school or college, where they're crying out to God and they're saying, God, if you're real, what would you say to them? How to wait, how to hear? I mean, obviously the Lord gave you a good old fashioned audible Josiah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What would you say to somebody going through that? Or I know I put you on the spot there, but
I think he knows like where you're at. He doesn't give us anything we can't handle.
Yeah.
And so like he searches our hearts, and he knows exactly where we lie with him. And so if you don't know, just ask him.
Yeah.
At like where are you?
Yeah.
In my life. I'm pretty sure he'll show you in some way or another.
So maybe
it might not be what you want to see.
Right. Right.
But it's, you know, he's going to show you something.
Yeah. So look for that thing that he's showing you. Yeah. It's good. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. That was great. that was great. So Zach, I mean, similarly as you've been able to kind of mentor these guys in your FCA role, and I don't know where do you see your journey that led you here? And you got married recently. That's awesome.
I did.
Yeah, you're like a professional. What, 3 months married? You're just ready to tell everybody how to do marriage. 6 months married. Sorry. Yeah. So all right, even better. You're even more equipped.
And we have a kid on the way.
What?
So.
Is this the first announcement publicly anywhere?
Yeah.
Right here in the
right
Campus
here.
Portal podcast, Zach announced there's a baby on the way. Come on, Zach.
Baby Nelson.
Grandpa Pup, that's your dad, is probably happy.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He's stoked.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Thanks for doing that. This podcast is going to take off because of that right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway,
It's
thank
gonna
you.
take off because of the Lord.
Amen. Jesus.
go.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Stay focused.
There you go. Main thing. Jesus.
did, yeah.
Not your baby.
I am
Jesus.
excited though.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
Being married
Baby
and having a kid on the way, that is something. So
Lots
I'm
to look
excited.
forward to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very stoked.
So let me go back a little bit, if I can interject a little. You 4 years been doing FCA since
4
you
years.
played baseball. What Zach? What challenges have you seen? I'm going to go to your professional level here, within the realm of reaching athletes and seeing the struggles they may go through, but also the victories. Romans 5:3 talks about how we're to rejoice in sufferings because that produces perseverance, which Josiah, you kind of spoke to that. And that perseverance develops character, and that character hope, and hope does not disappoint. What perseverance or places of suffering have you seen, not just in yourself, but also within athletes, where you know they're trying, but man, the grind is hard, whether it's in their sport or in life, or a little bit of both?
Yeah. How long did you say we have? Because I could go all day.
Well, let's say 3 to 4 minutes, if you can do that. But
I can do that.
And we're not trying to keep it on the time here, but again, I joke around this. We're not Joe Rogan podcast here, going 9 hours with 3 hours, but trying to keep it within reason. But I mean, speak from the heart.
Definitely. Okay, so I would say a challenge with a lot of athletes, and I guess it varies between, and I don't want to be too general, but everybody's got their struggles. Everybody deals with sin, even on a Christian campus, and even so, not everybody at Vanguard walks with the Lord. I know a lot do, but I also know a lot don't. So it's a delicate, essentially walk, especially for myself, if you're speaking to me from my professional side. And what I've learned with how I've essentially, over the last 4 years, I think one of the big things that I've taken away professionally is ministry of presence.
Yeah.
The Jewish term setshava, which is essentially mourning with someone or just being with someone. I know a lot of athletes struggle because they're far away from home. They're 18, 19 years old. They, whether or not they grew up in the best family circumstances, they have friends at home, and they're homesick. And I mean, that's just one example. So for me, part of my essentially part of my job with FCA, we live by these 4 pillars of integrity, teamwork, excellence, and serving. And so serving would fall into that category of like, okay, I'm here to spend time with you, not just to be like buddy, but I'm here to, walk with you during your highest highs and your lowest lows.
Wow.
Like if I'm an athlete and you're my dad, but you live like, 1,000 miles away, you can't come hang out with me all the time and be there for every match or every track event or every volleyball game. You can't enjoy the ride. And so, like, where am I supposed to throw all of my crap when I'm feeling low? Where am I supposed to be?
We're going to have to edit that word out now.
Sorry.
I'm kidding. I think we're okay. It's PG. We're good.
Yeah. But where am I supposed to dump all that stuff? So I think that's one huge thing that I've learned is just ministry of presence.
Yeah.
Being there shows that, and I'm actually coining this phrase from my dad, and I don't know where he got it from, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
And being on campus, being with these athletes, and walking with them shows that I care about them enough for them to open up to then know how much the Lord loves them.
Yeah.
Right?
He really does a great job.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I bought me a coffee
so well.
yesterday.
And that's on a pastor's budget. That's good. That's good.
For the record, I didn't tell them to say that.
No,
I know. No, let another's lips praise you and not your own. Proverbs says that. You're good,
Yeah.
Zach. Zach, if I could interject, because we only have a little bit of time left.
You're good.
It sounds like you're doing the real thing, man. And from what they're saying, and I love that you brought two athletes here that you have influence with and you walk with from what they're saying, what you're saying, and even you guys sharing your stories. And I think Peyton, as young ladies, model after you, and that it's good to get up early and to fight the good fight, and maybe run through a little confusion, like I don't know what to do with my life. Here's my major here. Here's my major here. Now I'm a history poli-sci major. By the way, I was a history poli-sci major.
Yeah.
I was history poli-sci major.
I thought that was a high five. I didn't.
Oh yeah, high five, high five. Ooh, yeah, I'm sorry, miscue. And you're here running track, 30-year-old sophomore. doing the thing, but God has called you to it and you're being true to it. And so I think I hear a theme here in Zach and you serving as you are and being married and with a baby on the way, all different parts of life here, and yet one common theme, running with Jesus, serving with Jesus. And so Zach, if you could summarize just how can an athlete at a high school or a college who wants to grow in their faith, maybe they are struggling a little bit, maybe they're at a place where Josiah was or not there yet, but they're like, but I want something different. How can they get involved practically with FCA? Where should they look? And then please do let us know how to support and get involved what you're doing for those who are local in Orange County.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we'll go with the first one. So with FCA, all of the staff members that are in the field, we raise our own support to support not only just our areas where we're doing ministry, but it also helps with our living expenses. Yeah. And there's FCA here in California. It's pretty expensive. So if you guys want to get involved and support the ministry that God has me doing at Vanguard, go to my.fca.org/Zach Nelson. That's Zach with an H, and it's all one word.
Zach Nelson. Cool.
Yeah. So
and they can go on Instagram too to follow you, right?
Go on Instagram, yeah. So there's my Instagram is embarrassing. Is Zach Attack. It's ZAK_ATTAK15. I haven't changed it since high school.
I love it. Zach, I'm Mikey Whitbits at Gmail. But Mikey Whitbits.
But so you can find it in that bio.
Cool.
That would help tremendously. Yeah. But the other thing is you can go to ocfca.org, and that is our page, and you can scroll through all of that online.
See what's going on.
Okay. Events. If you want to get involved locally, there are about 20 or so of us staff members in Orange County.
Doing the work.
Yeah.
It's good. Well, as we close, I just want to say again, thank you for making the time. I know you guys are about to go on spring break, so here you are spending your spring break pre-Friday hanging out.
Started off.
Yeah, seriously. But Peyton, thank you. Josiah, thank you. Zach, thank you.
Absolutely.
And again, my pleasure. Thanks for making this a special time and sharing part of your story integrated in athletics and faith and what FCA is doing. So, wow, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to take my middle-aged body and run the race marked out for me. Whether you're an athlete or a mathlete, see what I did there? Either way, we need to be ready to live for Christ with everything we have. I hope you're encouraged by Zach and Peyton and Josiah and what they shared about their stories and how God is using them. Because really, as we all run this race marked out for us, we keep our eyes on Jesus. That's what it's all about. So I hope you were encouraged. Don't forget to follow Zach on Instagram. That's at Zach, ZAK_attack, ATTAK. You can go there or just go to fca.org for more information on the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Join us next time on Kingdom and Culture as we continue to seek to advance the kingdom of God in our culture today.